Welcome back to a Sit Down Chat podcast with me, Matthew Pullan, also known as Running Through Cancer, and I think this is episode 5. I know many people don't listen to it, but I find it useful and I hope everybody else finds it useful. I'll start off with please like, share, comment and do all that good stuff because that helps me help other people and helps me get to be known, and with all my campaigning is what I want really. So in this episode I'm going to say what happened after my surgery leading up to radiotherapy, and then maybe brush on some radiotherapy, but we'll just see where it goes. So in the last episode I spoke about surgery, and if you didn't watch that, go and watch it. It's a good watch. It's on my YouTube. You can listen. I say watch, it's mainly listening, but go and listen to it. So in this one, like I said, I'm going to talk about after surgery. So after surgery I was left in hospital for 6 days, 2 days longer than I should have been because there was no local support for me. Due to my age, I was 17, and I am campaigning to try and bridge the gap in between adults and children so people don't slip down the cracks like me. And I was left in, so I was supposed to leave Friday and I ended up leaving Monday evening, and if I had that support, I probably would have been able to leave earlier. I'm just want to get straight onto it. Like, in hospital, I found it lonely and hard, especially being put on like wards with adults and only being allowed to see my parents at certain times, which I was lucky enough to have, but I had to go outside because of the pandemic. And I was grateful the hospital allowed me to do that, but in those times where I guess it was harder than others, there was times I'd just cry because I felt so lonely, and that is of no fault to anyone. It's just so mentally hard in that hospital, cooped up, and yeah, I was upset due to the lack of mental support I've had, which is pretty much nothing, and lack of physio that I had, which wasn't really much. Got out, had 2 physio appointments, and then just got discharged from a letter, which I found weird. During that time I was out of hospital for 2 weeks before radiotherapy. My brother was doing some fundraising, which I'm happy to get him on the podcast soon about his fundraising, and there was a great shop called Running Bear who gave him some shoes for his running challenge, running shoes, running trainers, whatever you want to call them. And although I wasn't in a hospital environment, I kind of knew something was wrong. And then my doctor rang, and he had nothing to tell us except just a reminder. And throughout those 2 weeks, phone calls were just reminders of what was round the corner. And it was hard because then I had to go in for radiotherapy planning and stuff. Got a different doctor who I think's an adult doctor, which was weird moving a bit from paediatric. And I remember the mask and stuff. I say absolutely fine, to be honest. It's like, if something could be nice from the NHS, that was a nice facial that they did to put the mask on, because they needed to get me straight and stuff. They put a mask on and mark you up and scan your CT scan and stuff. And in another video I'm going to talk about radiotherapy itself, but this one I'm just going to keep quite short for you all. Like, think of it a bit of a bonus video, but it's not, so we know. I've lost complete track of what I was saying now. Just nothing to worry about, radiotherapy planning. The hardest part was when, after the scan, they'd said your tumour had spread, and it spread to my brain stem, which then makes it inoperable, and what they use is treatable, not curable. And that's obviously hard. And I remember just going home, sat there with my stepmom, and there was hardly any words passed between us except from swearing at drivers on the road, which we don't usually do. I remember it was really hard. And earlier on before that, I think I had, as soon as the hospital found out that I was like cancer, or that because I needed my stitches out, I had an appointment with my surgeon, who said it's unknown, we don't know what it is, it looks like astrocytoma, which is cancer. We always knew it was cancer, but it was hard, because although you expect it, you don't. It doesn't truly hit until it's said to you, and that is very hard to think about. Like, you sit down thinking, "Oh, I've got cancer," and then you go in, and then you're actually getting told you have cancer. It felt completely different. I mean, I know it wasn't, and it's like your life's been cut short, but after having one cancer diagnosis, I thought it would get easier, but it's really not. And they're still not identified what the tumour is, so I'm living with the unknown cancer diagnosis in the brain, which is a bit scary, but what they don't know doesn't hurt you, eh? And you got to keep pushing forward. I'll probably end the podcast here, because I just want a short episode 5, and then move on to other radiotherapy and stuff. I'll have to see. I think my next podcast will be on radiotherapy itself, so please subscribe and wait for that. And as always, life terminal, don't forget to live it.